Mobile notary myths busted. These are all the things that people usually gets wrong when it comes to being a mobile notary. These are things that you hear on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, all around the place. A lot of these are not true. And I wanted to break this down and explain it to you guys so you guys would understand, so you can have a little advantage over that. So first things first is the mobile notary business is too expensive to start. That is something that I hear all the time, and especially usually from 9 to 5ers or people that want to get more so into the notary business. They always say it's too expensive. It's too expensive. And it's usually because you have a lot of these creators that are on social media telling you need to get all these little tools. And that's not true. Exactly. You can start off with very little tools. Honestly, you can start off with less than $500 in the notary business. You just need to get like the go-to things. So for example, like if you're a loan signing agent, of course you want to get a printer and stuff like that, and like ink and paper and things like that. But if you're a general mobile notary and you're just going to people's location, outside of really just a bag, a pen, maybe a folder, there's not a lot of things that you need. It's more so just knickknacks. But I think people, when they first enter the industry, it's kind of like someone when they first enter basketball or they start playing basketball, for example, or any sport. They want to get all the coolest gear. You don't need all of that. You just need a ball and some shoes. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Just like any under industry, you don't have to get all the coolest toys. You just need to start off getting what you need. Because the name of the game when it comes to business is how can I get profitable the fastest? What can I do to make sure that I'm making money back and I'm getting a return on investment? That's what people need to understand. Next off, I will say is they say that they can't make good money as a mobile notary, which is crazy. Because I've shown you guys some of my returns for it. I've shown you what I've made as a mobile notary. And as I've grown this notary business, how I've been able to scale it like that. Of course, you can charge a lot. I think when people think about mobile notaries or notaries in general, the first thing that comes to their mind is like, oh gosh, I have to charge clients $10, $15. How am I making money from that? Well, obviously, you're not going to make millions. You're not going to make $10,000, $5,000 a month charging a whole bunch of $10 services here and there. You can, but you're putting a lot more work than you need to do in. When you become a mobile notary and you're doing more expensive jobs, such as like the estate planning, your apostilles, your fingerprinting, you're able to then at that point charge more, so you don't need as much clients in order to get to your goal. So of course you can make money as a mobile notary, as a notary in general, but you just have to be smart with it. And of course you have to stay within your state regulations and your state guidelines. But saying like, oh, okay, notaries don't make any money, it's not true, because people do this full time. People are making six figures, multiple six figures a year being a mobile notary. So don't listen to that when you hear people from the outside saying things like that. Just understand that it's a common misconception. Things like that is a common misconception. Another one that I love to hear, guys, is it's too saturated. And anytime you hear somebody say this, that's kind of a red flag. So what I will say is a lot of people are notaries, but a lot of them suck. They're not really good at the job. I don't know if I can put that on YouTube. Let me scratch it out. But a lot of them suck. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like saying the basketball world is oversaturated. Yeah, there's a lot of people that play basketball, but then you only have a select few that are in the NBA. Just like there's a lot of people that have their commission, but I guarantee you 90% of them, and this is an arbitrary number I'm just throwing out there, 90% of them probably haven't even made their first $1,000. So to say it's saturated, it's a yes and no type of thing. Yes, they may be notaries, but that doesn't mean that they're constantly marketing themselves. They're constantly getting business. They just have their commission. A lot of people just get their commission for their job and then they just kind of like sit on it. You know what I mean? So it's not that it's saturated. It's people aren't using it. They just have their stamp. And you can't blame them because they're probably thinking the same thing as before. They're thinking they can't make any money with it, or if they are going to start a business, it's going to be expensive. It's one of those things. They just don't know any better. So they may be a lot of people that have notary commissions, but they're not making money from it. Like realtors, for example. Everybody you know is a realtor. But how many people are making, just say six figures? How many realtors are actually just making six figures from it? That number goes down drastically. So it's the same thing with the mobile notary industry, the notary industry, anything, any one of those industries, period. Another thing that people might say as a notary, you have to work 24/7. And what I will say, full transparency, You don't have to work 24/7, although when you open up your schedule as much as possible, it gives you more opportunities to make money and more opportunities to make more money, because then you can upcharge different things. So for example, if most notaries only want to work 9 to 5, if you extend your time from just, let's say, 6 to 12 a.m., depending on if you have a job or not, now you're able to get all those clients that just got off work. Now you're able to charge them an after hours fee. Now you're able to charge them after a midnight fee once you start doing things at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and things of that sort. So you don't have to work 24/7, but it gives you more opportunities to make more money. So if you're not working a job and you're at home, or let's say you're a stay-at-home parent, or let's say, for example, even you work your 9 to 5 and you got off your 9 to 5, from that 6 to 9, that 6 to 10, you can still work. You can still work. You can have your notary business open 24/7, but take your calls in your business after a certain time. You can kind of finesse it a little bit to make sure that you're still getting the clientele that you need. So just to clarify, you don't have to work 24/7 in order to make money. As a notary, that's not true. Don't buy into that Kool-Aid. Don't buy into that Kool-Aid, because that is not true whatsoever. Next thing I want to say is notaries can only work on simple docs. So I think a lot of people think, like I said, when they're dealing with notaries, they only think that, okay, notaries can only do simple documents or one pages, but that's not true. If you've been in the notary business for even a few months, you know that the paperwork can get complex. And sometimes the more complex the paperwork and the bigger it is and the longer it takes to do it and the more stamp there is, the more money you're able to make. Case in point, look at estate planning. Estate planning is probably one of my favorites. Estate planning is definitely probably one of my favorite type of jobs. And then you have your apostilles, and then you have your fingerprinting. There's a lot of things that you could do that bring in money, and they're not just simple one-page docs. And honestly, the people that say simple are the same people that say that you can't make money from it. It's the same type of people, because they're thinking, okay, these documents are only $10 to $15. I'm not able to charge because I'm just doing simple paperwork. But that's not true in the notary business. You know, it can get complex, and depending on what neighborhoods you're in, when you get around more affluent, more wealthy people, more well-off, more comfortable, whatever words you want to use, people, they need their wills, their trust, all of that type of stuff notarized, and those aren't simple documents. I've sat down, and I think one I did was like 3 or 4 hours. Oh my gosh, it was so long, but I got some bread from it. I'm not gonna lie. So don't buy into that Kool-Aid thinking that, okay, there's only going to be simple documents that I can do. Another thing that you have is mobile notaries aren't in high demand, which doesn't make any sense because it's a need-based business. So if you hear somebody saying that, you know that they don't know what they're talking about. One of the reasons that I even jumped into this whole notary business is because it was a fallback business for me. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, if I don't do anything else, I know that I can do this because this always brings in money. It's kind of like taxes. Somebody's always going to need their taxes done. You know what I'm saying? It's a need-based business, and it's in demand. Think about it like this. A lot of times you'll have customers that call in and they're not able to go to the location. So let's say there's a niche market, for example. You have elderly people. Elderly people aren't trying to use online notaries. Come on now. They're not trying to deal with it. They're not trying to put the stuff in on their phones, and they're not tech savvy. They don't want to upload an ID. What are you talking about? They'd rather call somebody, have them come to the location, complete the job for them. So if you think about it like that and take away all these online notarizations are going on, mobile notaries aren't in high demand, then you'll actually make some money. There's a market for it. That's why people have been doing it for years, and that's why it's able to stand the test of time. Not everybody wants to go online, and not everybody wants to drive to a UPS or their bank to do it. Some people just want the convenience of having somebody pull up to their house, go inside, stamp their docs, and go home. So to say high demand, no. Of course it's in high demand. Of course it is in high demand. There's always going to be a demand for notaries, unless they change something in the laws in the future, which that's something that's we can't change. That's nothing that's on us. Another thing is you need extensive expertise. Oh my gosh. EXPERTISC. Anyways, y'all got what I'm trying to say. You need extensive expertise in order to be a mobile notary. No, you don't. After you get your commission, and if you need help doing that, I think I have a free resource down below you can download, help you get your commission no matter what state you're in. But anyway, after you get your commission, just jump into the business. You don't need extensive expertise. You just need to know, all right, what are going to be the most common docs that are out there for me to notarize? Learn how to notarize those documents so that way when you're going to the location, you have the confidence on knocking out those documents. And then after that, once you know how to do the documents, it's just making sure that you have the right tools and that you know basic things like what is business casual and what is business professional. What should I take to me on the notary appointment? What should I do after the notary appointment? How much should I charge? Things like that are simple. People try to complicate it and add stuff in on social media, especially when you go on like YouTube and you're looking at other creators and stuff like that. They try to add all this, like they try to dress it up and make it seem like, oh, I have to study all this stuff in order. No, just get to it. Get your commission. Learn the things that directly impact your income and just do that. You don't need to do all this other fluff stuff. Just get straight to what makes the money. What I've realized in business, and it drives me insane, is people love to, and I need to move the camera for this. People love to feel like they're doing business. Everybody likes to feel like they're doing business, but not actually doing business. So they want to post about it. They want to buy all the cool tools. They want to tell their family and friends about it. Oh, I'm a notary now. I got a notary business and stuff like that. But that's not doing business. You're talking about business, but not doing it. So stop talking about it. Stop buying all these tools and just focus on, all right, what brings me in money? You don't need to be an expert. You just need to know what brings me in money. Can I do the job properly? Will they want to work with me again? And how can I get more customers? That's it. That's it. I don't dress it up at all. Look at me. I got this on. I got a hoodie on, and I still know when I have a notary job, put my collar shirt on, put my slacks, put my shoes, got my binder with me, and I'm out. I'm not doing all this extra fluff stuff. You don't need all of that to make money. It just sounds cool and it looks cool and it's easy to market on social media, but you don't need that. Just get straight to it. What brings me money? Period. What brings me money? That's it. So those are the most common mobile notary myths. This is what everybody gets wrong. It's just fluff, y'all. Don't fall for the fluff. Just get straight to the point. Like, what brings me money? How long will it take me to bring money? Does it work? Those are all the questions you need to ask. And stay around people that are like that, because everybody else will sell you dreams and things of that sort and waste your time, but just get to that bag. Anyways, if you want to do a one-on-one, hop in the comments below, hop into my description below, book a one-on-one. We could do one, or if you want to do a mentorship, we do work with you from 4 to 6 weeks, take you from the beginning to where you need to be to make money, and then from there, you can just scale up. Go ahead, you can book a call with me down below as well. And if you just want a free resources to help you just as a notary, period, go ahead and get that free resource down below. It'll help you out a lot. You're welcome. And then I also have a bundle there as well. We'll give you all the tools you need. I don't really do courses like that, but I want to say the tools that I give are things that you can use, like an email script. You can actually use that. Going back to what I said, straight to the point. A phone script, you can get that phone script, read it, and you can use it starting tomorrow. The email script, you can start sending out to attorneys tomorrow. Things that you can use. Those are actual usable tools. So click on that link below. Get those. Let me know if you need help with anything. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Peace, love, and your boy Knowledge is out.